Welcome to Planet of NY Sports. Here we talk Yankees, Mets, Giants, Jets, and a little bit of the Knicks, Nets. So, you see the title. You saw what happened. Aaron Judge is back with your New York Yankees on a 9-year, $360 million deal. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Roderick's not going to bask in our tears and everything. Even though it did feel like, a girlfriend just, going on dates with other dudes and stuff. Hey, it's okay. He's back with us. That's all that matters. Alex, instant reactions.
I mean, when I looked at my phone, saw the contract, man, I was so happy. It's been a stressful week, and mostly because of John Heyman, but, we're not going to get into that. And
we are going to get into it.
But I was very happy to hear that Judge is back. I mean, we needed him. But now we need to continue to, keep building our team.
Exactly. You can't stop here because this is still the same team as last year. I know I'm repeating myself, but it's true. This is the same team. All right, you signed Judge. All right, cool. But what are you going to do after that? You can't roll out the same team that got swept by Houston and stuff. You can't do it. You just can't. Now, anyways, we can go ahead and talk about the Arson Judge stuff and the whole origin story of this. So, we're all minding our business yesterday, and then we see this tweet. Arson Judge appears headed to the Giants. I almost lost my you-know-what. I was about to throw stuff, and then it did say Aaron Judge after. So, apparently, he jumped the gun, though. Yeah, exactly. They were posting that, it seemed like Giant fans were going all crazy on Bleacher Report.
That was so funny. Oh, my gosh.
But then he was like, oops, sorry, I jumped the gun. Yeah, the Yankees are still in the running. Aaron Judge is back. So, now, anyways, we are not gonna take anything from John Heyman here anymore. He is just unreliable after that. He definitely did jump the gun. Now, there's some big news regarding this contract and a third team that did try to come in and swoop Judge up. And Alex, do you want to talk about who that team is?
Yep, one of the other teams that tried to swoop them up was the Padres. And the Padres offered him $400 million over 10 years, which he would have earned the same amount of money each season, but he would have gotten $40 million extra, which I think would have definitely been a benefit for him. But, I guess wants to stay true to the Yankees, and he wanted to stay a Yankee, so he took the lesser deal.
Yeah. So apparently, he called him and Hal Steinbrenner. They had a chat on the phone last night, and guess what Hal Steinbrenner's doing? Because if Judge left, Hal Steinbrenner is in Italy right now. So if Judge left and Hal Steinbrenner's in Italy and just sitting there doing whatever, he would have had to sell the team after. That would have been it for him.
Yeah, it would have been over.
So they went over there, or literally, they went and he talked. Aaron Judge told him, "I want to be a Yankee," and Hal actually convinced him. Hal Steinbrenner finally got a pair, and I'm really surprised here. It's like his father was just like, "Son, you look at what you're doing to this team," and I'm. Like I said, I'm happy, but you still need to make more moves. You can't use this as an excuse to not do anything else. You just can't. So, anyways, going on back to that Padres offer and stuff, going even further than that, I thought Judge was going to the Giants. Even with Heyman and his awful reporting, but I feel like, his inside source, if he got that from somewhere, there had to be at least some rumblings of, hey, he probably, maybe he will go to the Giants, but it's not a done deal yet. I thought he was leaving. Apparently in his yearbook, he was like, oh, I want to marry his current wife, and then he also said, oh, I want to play for the San Francisco Giants. So I was like, yeah, he's out of here. He took I don't want to say like a long time. It just felt like, if he really wanted to be here, whatever. But he took the whole free agent tour, deservedly so. after the year he had, who can fault him for, having a nice tour like that? But like I said, it's like when your girlfriend goes and just, goes on dates with other guys. That's literally what it felt like. He went around, whining and dining with, Zaidi in San Francisco. And then apparently yesterday, he literally came to San Diego in the winter meetings and stuff to meet with the Padres. So, like, that's another date. That's 2 dates. Your significant other went on. That's exactly what it felt like. Alex, how did you feel, about the Yankees' chances of getting Aaron Judge before today?
I mean, I felt like it was really low. There were different articles and everything popping up about how Judge didn't previously like about how they not exposed, but revealed his contract online at the beginning of the season and how he didn't like it in the first place. So I guess he proved himself and proved that he needed more. But I feel like with all the stuff that was going on around the Giants news, even at one point they got Steph Curry to try to convince him to come onto the team. So it was I felt like our chances were low at the time. We definitely did.
Yeah, exactly. And so basically, maybe he just had a realization of, hey, you can end up 2 ways. 2 ways. You can end up like Derek Jeter, champion, captain, or you can end up like Robinson Cano, who did PEDs twice or 3. Who even knows how many times at this point?
And he became a minor leaguer at some point this season.
He was playing in a SpongeBob jersey. So, like I said, you can either end up like that, or you can the pinstripes. Joe DiMaggio, Ruth, Gehrig, Mantle, Jeter, and more. Mattingly, you can be a captain. Alex, you want to give me some potential captain news?
Yeah, I mean, Aaron Judge is expected to be named the captain, which I think is definitely deserving because, the season he had last season, he literally carried us into the playoffs. And also, no offense to the rest of the team, but I really don't feel like anybody else is really deserving as captain compared to Aaron Judge. I feel like he was definitely the reason why our team made it so far last season. Even though our season ended in a terrible way, it would have ended way sooner without him.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, signing Judge is good. That's the first block there. Okay, cool. Now you still need to get another corner outfielder, probably, Benintendi. What are we doing? What are we waiting for? I don't really know what we're doing here, because guess who's in on Benintendi now? The Houston Astros. I don't know. I just don't get it. They don't need him. They already swept us, without him, with a guy worse in the outfield. But I guess they really just don't want Yordan Alvarez playing the field, which who can blame him? He's not the best in the field, but still. Why they just want to torture the Yankees year after year? But I just feel like you have to re-sign Benintendi now. And also there is a certain pitcher the Yankees are apparently still in on even after signing Aaron Judge. That's Carlos Rodon. So the initial word is that he's seeking a 6-year deal. And, I know he's only had 2 years of health, but still, it's been these last 2 years, he's been pretty consistent with his health. I would do the deal. I don't think the Giants are going to do the deal because given their history with getting these guys and stuff, or no, they don't even get these guys. They're always like, oh yeah, the Giants are interested in blank, and then they never close the deal or anything. That's just how it is with the Giants. We just saw it with Judge. So the team you're probably going to have to be wary here of is probably the Dodgers. They haven't made any big moves yet, and they have a lot of money to spend. So. And they still do need a starter. They didn't sign DeGrom. They didn't sign what's his name? Verlander. They didn't sign those two. So which makes me think they're probably going to try to sign Rodon, especially, he's already pitched in the NOS, so he knows, the batters and everything. So I think the Yankees should definitely be interested in Carlos Rodon. Alex, what's your take on Carlos Rodon possibly coming to the Yankees?
I think that would be a great addition to our team. I mean, Our rotation and our lineup is definitely very filled with righties. I mean, the only really dominant lefty and only lefty I can think of that we have is Nestor right now. And I feel like adding a second lefty to our rotation would definitely make it a little more versatile without having, we're facing the Yankees. They're probably gonna have righter pitchers starting the whole time. So just prepare your lefties. So I feel like that would definitely help. And I feel like another team maybe to watch is the Mets, but they're also in more on Senga compared to Rodon at this point because they already signed Verlander. So
Yeah, for sure. And so also the Yankees did get a bullpen piece, and he's pretty familiar here, and that is Tommy Kahnle. 2 years, $11.5 million. I'll take that. He was pretty good in 2019 when we had him. He was a nice bullpen piece to have. We can look at his stats from last year. He did have Tommy John which is why we didn't re-sign him. But let's look at his stats from last year. So he had a 2.84 ERA in 13 games, 12.2 innings pitched. I mean, that's solid. I'll take that. Like I said, and he's not going to be making a lot here, but you got one bullpen arm. I would still like one more lefty because right now the lefty in the pen, like if you look at it, it's probably Lucas Litke and Wandy Peralta. I think you definitely probably need like a hard throwing lefty now. You already have like two soft throwing lefties. So, and I'm not saying resign Chapman. Just no. Chapman can go back to the Cincinnati Reds or go to the Pittsburgh Pirates. I don't care. Chapman, do not bring Chapman back. Okay, Cashman, please. But anyways, just going back on Aaron Judge here, I feel like this was a Hal-driven move, which is a surprise. Like I said, you all saw my video, my rant on Cashman and Hal too. But, I don't think Cashman was going to be willing to do that much. I don't think he was. Apparently, we saw the news about how Cashman and Hal kind of disagreed on, okay, are we going to do whatever it takes to get Judge back? Hal was like, yes, we are. Cashman, he's like, yeah. He did it with Derek Jeter and stuff. If you watch the ESPN documentary, he did it with Derek Jeter. And Derek Jeter asked him, hey, if you would have like two more shortstops, who would it be? And he was like, okay, over you, I'd rather have Troy Tulowitzki and I'd rather have, what's his name? Like Ramirez. So like, obviously Cashman doesn't care. He really doesn't care, but it's true because no one is bigger than the pinstripes. No one is bigger than the pinstripes. Judge, you could have walked. All right, fine. But like I said, you can, become Robinson Cano 2.0. You can. Sorry, but it's true. Nobody is bigger than those pinstripes. Everywhere you go, you're still going to see a Yankee hat. Everywhere. Every country or something, you're still going to see a Yankee hat. Alex, what's your thoughts on, being like the Yankees as a brand and, if Aaron Judge didn't resign, how do you think that would fare for him?
For Judge, you think? For Judge, you said? How you would fare for Judge? Well, I definitely feel like Yankees fans would probably still have like a certain love for him, but I feel like with him signing with the Giants, it probably wouldn't be as strong because even though he had the good season and all, he would have left them for the money and they probably wouldn't have taken that well. But I feel like you said, everywhere he goes, he would have been reminded about the Yankees, like you said. Even if somebody's not a Yankees fan, if they like the hat, they'll get it. And, you'll see like a red Yankees hat or, World Series on the side. So.
Exactly. And speaking of World Series here, Judge did not get us a World Series. This would be a lot different if we even got to one. He hasn't gone to a World Series, and we saw it in this postseason. He was not great. He was not. He was not great. So, like I said, he's still going to be captain and stuff here. But I want, during this contract, is it too much to ask for 2 World Series, Judge? Is it too much to ask just for 2? We haven't won since 2009. Just get us 2, and this deal is looking good. Now, he's not hitting 62 home runs again. That's just not happening. And apparently there's, a report that baseball used 3 different balls, this season, and I'm not. Apparently, they used it a lot for the Yankee games, like one of them that weighs a certain amount, and same thing I think for like the Cardinals with Albert Pujols. I'm not getting into that. We'll get into that more in the week in review, but he's not hitting 62 again. He's not. Let's be real here. So, in order for this to be a success, Alex, what do you think his numbers could be for maybe like the first like 4 or 5 years for this deal?
Well, as we can see, basically every year he's played, he's hit at least 250. So I would say this season, maybe somewhere. His 2019 season wasn't looking too bad. I mean, 27 home runs, 272 average, 55 RBIs. It's okay. But I feel like somewhere maybe in between, he could be hitting somewhere between like 260, 270, somewhere around there. Like you say, he's not going to get another 62 home runs. Maybe like a solid, like 35 to 40, somewhere around there. Because, I mean, he's still a power hitter, and he's playing at Yankee Stadium with the shortest porch in the world, so I wouldn't be surprised. Somewhere like that. I think that's where his stats would be.
Yeah, exactly. But like we said here, it's not all about the stats. You can go ahead and hit 62 home runs every year, and we will not care if you don't get the job done. You have to get the job done. That's why I was saying if he did walk, it was like, if he took that Padre deal and the Yankees were like, absolutely not, we're not doing that, I would have been like, okay, fine. You didn't win with him. So it's, it's kind of like at the point where it's like, okay, maybe you go ahead and retool. Now you can't. Now you have to go and improve this team some more. Like, you had to do it anyway. You got swept last year. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep saying it until, I'm blue in the face. They got swept. The New York Yankees got swept by the Houston Astros and showed no fight. No fight. So, anyways, going on that, Rodon, I want Rodon. There's no excuse. Apparently, you're still in contact with him. There's no excuse. I've been refreshing here, making sure, he hasn't already signed possibly with the Yankees. But I want Rodon. Benintendi. Give me Benintendi. And if Benintendi walks, I don't really know where you go from there. Alex, is there any, Benintendi replacements you can think of?
I feel like recently Masashika Yoshida, I think that's what his name is. Recently, he's been released from Japan, and he has 30 days to sign with the MLB team as of yesterday. So I think he would probably be like a closer replacement to him. He's also a lefty. He's around the same height, and he hits for average. So I feel like that would be someone that could probably replace Benintendi if we don't get Benintendi.
Yeah, for sure. But it's still like, I'd rather just have Benintendi and then, if he goes to Houston or something, then it's like, ooh, what's the point? We need to resign Benintendi, and then I still say you need one more bullpen piece. I don't trust some of the guys out of the pen because, mostly because of their injury history and stuff like that. And Clay Holmes, I don't know what happened to him after I don't know what happened after the All-Star break. But if you can get one more bullpen piece in here, I would say that's a pretty successful offseason. Well, actually, no, it's not, because you still have Josh Donaldson's contract and you still have Aaron Hicks's contract. You need to get rid of those. I don't even, I say this all the time, I don't know why we had Donaldson in the first place. It was just a pointless trade. Very, very pointless. You could have just cut Gary Sanchez. You could have kept Gio and then just signed Correa. But whatever, they didn't do that. So now we're stuck with, a pointless $25 million contract, for a guy that nobody likes. Josh Donaldson. Nobody likes him, from the Tim Anderson Jackie stuff and then, pimping and blah, blah, blah. You got to get rid of this guy, clear some money out. And then Aaron Hicks too. He's like, I don't, for 10 mil a year, and I can't do that anymore. Even for you can't pay a fourth outfielder. He's not even a fourth outfielder at this point. He's like a fifth outfielder. You can't pay him like 10
He's a
million.
bench bat. That's what he is.
Yeah,
At best, at best.
at best, exactly. I don't even know if I'd go that far and say he's a bench bat. He's like, his bat isn't good anymore. So I don't like. Is he a bench bat? He's just like a pinch
But
runner.
the thing is that his defense isn't good either. So he's like, I don't know what he is.
Yeah, Alex, do you just want to talk about Aaron Hicks a little here?
I mean, after like a while, Aaron Hicks just got bad, and it was bad. I mean, his defense was bad. He's a switch hitter. He really couldn't do much from either side, even though he's way much of a better lefty. I mean, and then when we picked up Harrison Bader, when he got replaced by Harrison Bader, even with Harrison Bader batting against righties and lefties, he still did better against both sides. So I mean, it just shows how Harrison Bader is a much better fit, and how Aaron Hicks we should not have his contract anymore. I mean, he's useless at this point. There's no point in having him on the team.
Yeah, exactly. And going on to some more players that the Yankees could possibly trade, I said is Gleyber Torres, because if you're gonna call up Anthony Volpe too eventually, which you should, and IKF needs to be on the bench. IKF needs to be on the bench this year. Peraza needs to be the starting shortstop. He needs to be, unless he's hurt. He needs to be. I do not care. If IKF is the starting shortstop on opening day, I am going to lose it. I'm seriously going to lose it. He just can't. There is no way. There's like Vince McMahon says, no chance in hell. There is no chance in hell. No chance that IKF should be the starting shortstop. Now, if you want to tell me at third base, depending on if we get rid of Josh Donaldson and if he, that's fine. Whatever. I would like, a guy with more pop at third base, but whatever. It's okay. But still, he cannot be your starting shortstop. Alex, how do you feel about IKF?
I mean, IKF is IKF. He used to be a catcher too. So if you ever need a backup catcher, Trevino or Higashioka gets injured, you got him on the bench. But yeah, we need Peraza to start at shortstop. We saw Peraza, even with the short year he had, he put up the numbers and he did what he needed to for the short amount of time that we had in the season left. And defensively, he is so much better because the Yankees want to decide to play IKF at a position that he has no, I guess he's not really used to, and that he's never really played. And then they want to say, the defensive metrics show that he's one of the best shortstops in the league. When you have one of your top-rated prospects sitting on the bench that you could use, and that would be way better and benefit your team a lot more. So I don't know what they're gonna do.
Exactly, and like the whole entire argument about IKF. Oh yeah, he's a Gold Glove. He's a Gold Glover. No, he's not. He won his
at third base.
At third base. It just didn't make any sense. Why would you do that and then make the guy a shortstop? Like, that's not going to work. Only the Yankees do that. They make their stopgap shortstop a guy who didn't even really play shortstop like that. I don't get it. I digress. I'm getting off topic here. But there's like a legit question to be asked here. Are the Yankees only 2 pieces away? I don't think they are. They still got swept. I'm going to keep saying it. They got swept. They're not 2 pieces away. They still need, some more, but it's not, you can't expect too much because you still have that Donaldson deal and that Hicks deal. So it kind of limits you and stuff. And we also re-signed Rizzo. So that's good. But still, you got to get Rodon, preferably Benintendi. I'm hearing some people are saying if we shop at the clearance rack, as I like to say with the Yankees, and go ahead and sign Michael Conforto. I mean, he didn't play, so it's going to be really interesting to see. But you're not going to sign Bellinger. Bellinger already went to the Cubs, And also speaking of a former Cub, ooh, I like that segue right there. Wilson Contreras has signed on a 5-year deal. We're just talking about this because, just because Wilson Contreras has signed with the Cardinals. Alex, thoughts on this deal?
I think it was a pretty good deal. I feel like with Yadier Molina retiring, Wilson Contreras, he's not the best defensive catcher, but he definitely provides an offense. He'll be good for the Cardinals.
Yeah, exactly. And especially going from, Yachty, a pretty defensive, strong catcher, and then you're going on to Wilson Contreras, who's not the best behind the plate, but still, he's like, his hitting's good, but the catching, it's okay.
He can get better. If he improves, it'll definitely be better.
I know some Met fans wanted him, which is kind of why we just, acknowledged it. Some Met fans at school were like, yeah, we want Wilson Contreras. I'm like, don't you already have Francisco Alvarez? Or they're like, no, but, I heard all this talk about, Francisco Alvarez, number one prospect.
Number one prospect.
Yeah, and then now all of a sudden it's, oh, yeah, we want Wilson Contreras. They want everyone. Some of them want to Judge. So I'm not even going to get into that. But, Alex, anything else you maybe want to touch on?
Well, not the Blue Jays. The Red Sox also did sign Kenley Jansen, which was I guess it's kind of a good deal for the Red Sox because I don't really know. I mean, from most of the Red Sox highlights I saw this season were all defensive errors, but having Kenley Jansen on your team, it's good. He'll be a good reliever on their team, definitely.
Yeah, and so just going back onto the Yankees here. So Brian Cashman says that Hal Steinbrenner was the Mariano Rivera of Aaron Judge negotiations in terms of closing it out. More cheesy quotes from Cashman to come. I mean, hey, Hal Steinbrenner, like I said, I'm still pretty surprised he even did this. I really did not think he would actually go ahead and, channel his inner father and be like, you know what? I can't let this happen. I'm sitting here in Italy drinking whatever. If I let this guy go, they wouldn't even let him, come back to New York. He would have to stay in Italy because people would be there waiting for him with pitchforks. Judge jerseys are burning. It would just be like, it would be really bad. So, Alex, any last thoughts?
Nope, nothing else.
Okay, good. So, hopefully, Hal Steinbrenner maybe has a 2009 type off season. That would be nice. Just go ahead and sign people because this team right now still is not good enough. I don't care what anyone says. It's definitely better than it was yesterday because Judge technically wasn't on the team. But now you're back where you were last year, which is not where you want to be. And so you got to go improve the team more. Signing Judge was nice. It's a good deal. Well, that last year is going to really suck. But hopefully this is more moves to come for the New York Yankees. And, maybe next year. And no, I'm not even gonna say it. They haven't shown me anything that is gonna prove they're gonna beat the Astros yet. So, anyways, if you guys can just do me a favor, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you in the next video here at Planet of